Blaine Fowler, Brian Logan, David Nixon, and it's our pleasure to introduce the voice of the Trailblazers, longtime broadcaster in the state of Utah, former starting quarterback of the Bear Ripper Bears.
That's right.
That qualified you for everything. Rod Zundel here with us.
Yeah.
Good to have you here.
Guys, it's great to be here. Never in my wildest dreams would I think that I would be here amongst these brethren right
Sometimes
here.
dreams
BYU
come
TV,
true.
Absolutely.
What's it been like for you this week? Because basketball and football are now intermixed this time of year, and you've been on the move.
It's been a long week, but it's been a great week. Sunday we left to go to play the Washington Huskies on Monday. Then after that game on the basketball court, we went to play the 14th ranked Arizona Wildcats. Got home for a couple hours yesterday, and then drove here to Provo, and now I'm here with you, gentlemen.
Good to have you here.
Rod's not relaxing, that's for sure. No. He's not relaxing.
No, it's fun.
Hey, let's talk about this team a little bit that's going to face the Cougars today. They start off 1-6, struggled a little bit, but in these last three games, they've really found themselves, especially on offense. What changed?
Well, what changed is during that losing streak, they said they were close. They were in one-possession games in the second half in most of these games, but they just couldn't get over the hump. You know, and they're making the transition from Division II to Division I. They're still in the probation, a transition period, and so they just hadn't learned how to get over that hump against good quality FCS teams. And then against Stephen F. Austin,
19th in the country,
at that time, on the road, every time that Stephen F. Austin made a challenge, Utah Tech did what they wanted to do the previous 5 games, and they held them off. And then 1 second left, final play of the game, Utah Tech up 3, and Stephen F. Austin on the 1-yard line. Instead of kicking a field goal to tie, they went for the touchdown and a win. Incomplete pass, game over celebration. From that point on, okay, 3-game winning streak. Here's the key. Offensively, the quarterback, Victor Gabalis, okay, he's transferred with offensive coordinator Craig Stutzman from Washington State, along with Joey Hobart, the receiver. He's kind of robotic kind of thing. He's got a strong arm, D1 arm, as strong as arm as anybody. But Vic Gabalis, okay, the first 3 games, he started at Sacramento State, threw 3 interceptions, first quarter got benched. After the quarterbacks got hurt, in 3 games he threw 7 completions, 6 interceptions, okay? And he comes back from that after a full week of practice, getting the start for the injured Kobe Tracy and Boone Abbott. Last 3 games in this 3-game winning streak, over 1,100 yards, 12 touchdowns, 1 interception, and 64% completion.
That'll win you some games.
Absolutely. And the thing is, he was kind of locking on, but they kind of went up to a tempo offense, not a speed-up Robert and I offense, but they kind of went up to a tempo, and he's an intelligent guy, sometimes maybe too intelligent for his own good. He processed the previous play and didn't worry about the next play. But in this tempo offense, which they started at Stephen F. Austin, and he'll tell you, said, you know what? I don't have time to go back and process and think about what I did right or wrong. I'm just looking forward to the next play. And he said, the field is opening up, guys, and he can see everything. So, and when you got a quarterback that says, I can see everything, that's a scary proposition for the defense.
So, Rod, let's stay on that. Offensively, they've got mentality of the whole spread and shred, right?
Spread and shred.
And I'm intrigued by this because the offensive coordinator, Craig Stutzman, as well as you talked about it, Victor Gabalis and Joey Herbert, all came from Washington State. Tell us a little more about that. And has that helped this team having a kind of a P5 mindset that from those 3 that came from Washington State? Has that helped get them ready for this game in this type of environment?
Oh, absolutely, because you get a proven commodity in Craig Stutzman. And last year, BYU played Washington State the same week that this group was fired, Craig Stutzman and Rolovich, because of the vaccine.
The COVID situation.
So that is our gain at Utah Tech. And so he brought Gabalis and Joey Hobart over, and he brought in the spread and shred. And what it is it's giving these guys confidence, and they have the leeway on the pass routes. It's not just a passing tree where it's going to be 873 the pass call. You go down 5 yards out, 5 yards in, 10 yards out, whatever. They've got 4 or 5 variations on every pass play, every route. So you go down there, whatever they do boom, 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 and you have to make a split section decision. And so it was difficult for them to try to figure it out, but now they've got it, and this tempo offense, they're not so robotic, and they're just playing now. And Joey Hobart, guys, okay, you're going to see a fantastic receiver. He's D1 caliber, okay? He and Puka Nacua, you're going to see a special
2 really good
receiving.
12s, right? 2 number 12s,
Absolutely.
Right?
Joey Hobart, okay.
Or he's 4. No, he's
He's
12.
He's
He's
12.
12, yeah.
He's 12. He leads the country in FCS in receiving yards per game at 115, total yards in the season, and also receiving touchdowns 14. You tell me any FBS receiver that has that.
Was that the
numbers.
receiver that was making the comments on Twitter?
What did he say?
Something about how they were gonna win and BYU wasn't that good.
No, I don't think that ever. I think that's a fake account.
Oh, okay.
They wouldn't say that. And you know what? Well, the thing is, he was on the team that lost to BYU by 2 points last year.
Right.
Yeah.
And Craig Stutzman was the passing game coordinator in 2019 when Hawaii beat BYU in the bowl game. And so what film are they looking at on the BYU defense? They're looking at the hotel this morning. They had the Hawaii game, the bowl game, and they had the quarterbacks were looking at the film from last year's BYU-Washington State game. Because even though they were fired the Monday before they played BYU, it was the same game plan.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I can
he
promise
knows all
you,
about.
we'll have enough cameras for a goal line camera on
Yes.
BYU TV today, despite what happened over there in Honolulu.
There we go.
But,
You know what? It's going to be an entertaining game, and you're going to be impressed with the talent. Now, of course, BYU, different animal than the FCS opponents that they've had, but you're going to see skill positions. Quali Conley, we're not even talking about him, the running back.
Yeah.
He's playing angry right now because he got benched, only for the first couple of plays of each game to put a fire under him, okay? And I tell you what, he's running angry. He's carrying 2, 3, 4 people on his back for an extra 3 or 4 or 5 yards. Now, this is, like I said, different animal with BYU, so he'll only carry maybe 1 Cougar on his back for 2 yards. But I tell you what, he does not go down on the first hit the last month of the season. And the first half of the season, he was kind of dancing around, but now he sees the hole and boom, gone. And also during this 3-game winning streak, if it's not there, he's had great success bouncing it outside. Now, I don't think he's going to be able to have that success bouncing outside against this Cougar defense. Just too strong, too fast, and also they play wider than the FCS teams. So it's going to be interesting to see him. And go ahead, you defensive guy, talk about their defense.
I mean, you're talking about BYU's defense and pumping us up. I got to talk about the Trailblazers defense. They have 18, 20 sacks on the season so far. So what is it about this group that makes them successful in getting after the quarterback?
2 weeks ago, they had 5 sacks.
Oh.
Now they've got 18.
Man.
Okay, they've had 13 sacks in the last 2 games.
The other teams not have offensive lines?
No,
or
What is going on?
No, they're getting it. And you saw a picture there, number 33, Dylan Hendrickson. He was their stud defensive end last year. He's from St. George. He's a half a sack away from being the all-time sack leader at Utah Tech in the NCAA history. There he is, Dylan. They call him Screech because he looks like Screech from Saved by the Bell. Seriously, he's got Screech on his license plate. Okay? But anyway,
He does look like Screech.
I like the fact that he owns that.
he
I'll give
does.
that
He
to him.
does.
Oh, he does look like him.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
100%.
But he had a big afro when he was in Little League, and that's what the coach called him, Screech. But now he's like, he even mentioned this last week, said, I was a stud defensive end. Now I'm like 2 or 3 down the line. And the defensive ends are playing thick and heavy. They're not giving up anything. And then the linebackers, you got Will Leota from Salem Hills, preseason all-conference pick. And then you got Malaki. He's getting NFL looks, okay? Leota's averaged 12 tackles per game. And then you've got last week, Darius Nash, the senior.
Yeah.
He had a 95-yard pick 6. And the thing about this defense is that they will give up big plays. And if BYU doesn't give up big plays, or if BYU doesn't get a big play 3 times, 30 yards or more, and scoring off those big plays, I would be disappointed if I were the Cougars, because they have a tendency to give up some big plays. But once this defense gets inside the 20, the red zone defense, they hold them to field goals other than touchdowns. And that saved them in a lot of contests and keeping the game close. Now, can they stop BYU? Different animal, like I said.
Speaking of BYU and the defense for Utah Tech, there's a lot of Cougar influence, starting with Shane Hunter, co-defensive coordinator, and you just go down the line.
Yeah, Shane Hunter, he played here, and we were talking about how senior day affects the Cougars and their performance and their mentality. On his senior day, I believe in 2010,
Yep.
I believe.
I play with them.
Against New Mexico.
Yeah.
He said, I still remember this. He dropped a sure interception. Do you remember that?
I do
And he said it still haunts him to
That
this
sounds
day.
about right for Shane.
Yeah,
that's about right.
Shane Hunter. Okay. And then you got another guy. I don't want to pronounce his name because I'll mess it up. Kalama, linebacker. He was in 2005. Then you got Loni Fangupo, the transfer from USC to defensive lineman here. He played here. Jamison Clark, defensive end, and he's the son of Steve Clark, the tight end coach. And then Paul Peterson, the head coach, he was a grad assistant here. So you've got a lot of
don't
connections.
forget Charlie.
And Charlie Peterson's going to bring out the flag today.
Oh, is he? Charlie's going to bring the flag
and
out.
Older brother of the head coach.
Paul Peterson, he said, I hope he trips. I hope he's wearing a Utah Tech jersey. If he doesn't, I hope he trips. But no, so there's a lot of connections here. And you know what? They talk trash, BYU, but they know what they're up against. And it's fun. They're just having fun with this because obviously they're getting paid and helping out with our budget. But they're excited to play. This is the biggest stadium and the most people they'll play in front of in their entire careers. Right. And so this is an exciting time. And Utah Tech appreciative of BYU putting us on the schedule.
Hey, we're happy to have you here.
I'm excited to be here. I get to hang out in the booth where the big men hang out. I'm excited.
Good luck on the call today. And congrats on your job there, and much success down there to your golf game and to your broadcast career with the Trailblazers.
Thanks. I think Cougar fans are going to be entertained today. I hope they do because they got some skilled players that's going to have some fun. All right.